strike me down, I shall become more powerful than you could possibly imagine.
Welcome everybody, it is Bulldog here, and it's an exciting day in Splinterlands because the first version of Land is finally arriving today. For a lot of you watching this video, it's probably already arrived, as it should be here. Maintenance should start to put this in the game here in just a few hours from me recording this video, but I've actually got access to the test server as a MAV, and it is live on the test server, so I can jump in, show you exactly what that's going to look like. And then I want to talk about, should you actually go interact with this yet? You're going to be able to claim your land deeds, but do you want to do that yet? And is there any sort of strategy around how you should claim your land deeds if you're going for a specific type of land, or if you've got multiple lands? Should you group them together, spread them out? What's the best strategy there? So let's jump in to the test server here, and we're going to take a look at land. So you will notice that up at the top, instead of cards, it now shows items. I'm actually going to back up. I'm going to click on items here because you'll still see the normal card tab, but now you'll have an other tab and then the land tab. I mean, the other tab's already been there, but looks a little bit different. Then you have land here, and it's going to show you your land tokens. Okay, and you can now go convert those land tokens to deeds, which will show where your land is on the map. You will now know the exact location of your land. Unfortunately, you will not be able to survey your land yet. When you survey your land, that's going to show you the type. Like, did you get a legendary land? Did you get a common land? What type of what type of resources are you able to collect from your land? So there'll be different types, different rarities. We don't know any of that yet. All we can find out right now is location. And one of the big things to point out, if you are considering selling your land, like if you want to leave the option up to sell your land, I would not recommend claiming any deeds. Do not keep it as land tokens, because as of right now, land tokens can be sold in the shop. If you go to the market, you can buy or sell land tokens. You cannot buy or sell land deeds, not yet. That is coming, so you will be able to at some point. But if you go in and claim your deed right now and find out where your land is on the map, you will no longer be able to sell it for the time being. So that'll be interesting. Will that impact the price? Will that kind of artificially decrease the supply of land, the land that's available to actually go out there and sell? Will that raise the price any? I don't know. Maybe that's a possibility. I'm not sure if it's going to have that much of an impact, if there's that much demand for land yet. You might also just have some excitement around the land, there being something here for land. This is not a huge piece of land. This is version 0.5, they're calling it. So it's nothing huge necessarily, but it's still cool just to see land finally getting here, finally arriving. So on the test server, they gave us a bunch of plots, tract, regions, and what's going to happen when you claim land is everything's going to go in order. So if you claim when the first person comes in and claims a plot or anything, they're going to start up here in the pristine Northwest, and they're going to be in region 1, and it'll show you like your region number, your tract number, and then the plot number. So if you claim a plot, you will claim the lowest number plot. If you claim a track, you will claim the lowest number track that doesn't have any of the plots revealed. So like when you're claiming plots, you might still be early up in 1, 2, 3. But if somebody claimed a bunch of plots, maybe the first full plot is actually down here at 21 in the next area in the Broken Lands. When you claim a region, you'll get the first full region, because you will get a full tract. You will get a full region that will be grouped together. Those aren't necessarily spread out or anything. It's not going to divide your plots up. So let's go in and let's just actually claim one. So like if I want to claim a plot, I can just go in here. I'll just claim one plot. I will redeem it, confirm the transaction. Hopefully it loads quickly here, and we'll find out exactly where on the map. So now I've got a deed registered. I can come back. I've got one deed. I can actually go in and I can see it's unsurveyed. I'm in the pristine Northwest. I can see my region number, my tract number, and my plot number. So I know exactly where this is. So a couple questions will come up, and they addressed a little bit of this on the town hall, and there's also a post over here. Like they've got their peak post going through a lot of this. But should you try to get certain plot types? Should you go after certain resources? Should you try to group them together, spread them out? What's the case there? And you can see that these are grouped differently. Like each element actually kind of has its own little area here. So I'm assuming these kind of correlate with elements. You can see like water, fire, death, dragon, neutral, earth, life. So they all are capable. Each area is capable of producing all of the resources. You will be more likely to see certain types. Like you might be more likely to see forest in earth, whatever the case is. So it's very possible you'll be more likely to see certain areas in certain regions, and those lands might be better suited for, like, maybe if you have it makes sense. It's not necessarily guaranteed, but maybe if you've got a bunch of earth cards that you want working your land, you might want to try and get in the broken lands or something like that, where those workers might perform better. But they did say that all of the resources, I believe there's 14 of them, all of them, they want to give equal value to them. So there's no advantage in terms of this resource is more valuable than another resource. They said there's not going to be any benefit to like being towards the coast and being toward the ocean, or being toward the middle and being centrally located, things like that. But they did say that if you're transporting resources between your lands, that travel might be a factor. They're expecting travel to be a factor. So if you have groups of land working together, it is going to be advantageous for them to be close together. So it might be better to claim all of yours at once, if you've got multiple types of land, to try to get in the same region or the same tract or whatever the case is, and that could be an advantage there. But there's going to be a market set up. So like if you're farming all one type of resource and that's just kind of what you have, there'll be a market to swap between the two. So they want it designed so that it doesn't necessarily matter if you're only farming one resource, or you're farming a bunch of different resources, that you don't need to feel like you need to go get all of them to get all of the type of resources to build whatever the case is. Now, all of this is still being fleshed out, so you don't necessarily... It's all subject to change, right? It's all subject to change. So we got the plot there. Let's just go in real quick. Let's see, like, if we claim a tract. So if we claim a tract, I bet it's going to be further down. Because when we're looking for a plot, we just have to find a single open plot. When we're looking for a tract, we have to find a full tract. So if we come in here, are we still in the Pacific Northwest? So no, now we've gone down to the Broken Lands. So, and that's because we had to search further to find a full tract available. And if we go to region, we might even go further down. Let's see. It just depends on when people have claimed, and it tells you the next available one. I didn't look at it, but so like now we've got all of these lands. So now we've got 1,101. I wish they would group these together better, but yeah. So I'd have to scroll through all the ones from my tract, and then we'd scroll through and find the region down here. So if we come back over here to this map, it tells you what's available next. So again, in this, somebody could beat you to it. There's going to be a little bit of a delay here, but it shows like, okay, where's the next available region? So I was still in the Broken Lands there. Next available tract, where that's going to be at. The next available plot, where that will be at. So if you're looking for a certain one, or you're like, okay, I want to wait till we get in Dragon, then you can kind of wait and monitor this and try until you can find the ones that you want. So if you do wish to do that. So I don't know. I think for me personally, I'm honestly not too excited about knowing exactly where my plot is. I'm excited about seeing progression in land. I'm not going to claim my deeds because I'd prefer to leave them as land tokens. I don't necessarily plan on selling my land. I've been clutching onto my land so tightly. Like I'm not giving this up. You can pry it from my dead body if you'd like. So I definitely have zero intentions of selling my land, but I'm going to leave that option open. I don't really want to close that off just because you never know, especially I'm going full-time content creator here. Don't necessarily have a guaranteed source of income right now. Might need to sell some things off. There's a lot of other things I think I would sell off before land, but just leaving the door open just in case. But it's still cool that we can actually come in, maybe even just get a little hype around land, seeing something actually here. We can go claim. We know exactly where it is. It's gonna be interesting to see if people try to get matched up against or matched up with each other. Like, are guildmates going to try to get into the same tract or the same region? Maybe they can work together that way. That seems to make a lot of sense, right? So this is what we're looking at, and I am excited about it. But I really just wanted to fully get here. My biggest excitement for land is for the items and spells that they produce. That's going to expand the game a little bit, and that still seems like it's a little ways off, but it's good to see that we're moving down the track, making progress as version 0.5 is here, and this is a nice little thing to see before the holidays. So cool to look at, but it ultimately is not going to be a lot to actually do or actually use yet. So I want to know from you. As always, I'm interested to read the comments. What are your thoughts? What's your strategy going to be for claiming your deeds? Are you going to try to get them together? Are you going to try to spread them out to diversify? Are you going to try to get next to guildmates? I want to see what the thoughts are, and what everybody's individual strategies are going to be. If you do claim your land, go post your location down below. Let's find out if anybody's next to each other. So I'm very curious to also just see how many people claim. How fast do we progress through all of this? So how long, if you want to be in Dragon, if you want to be in Fire, whatever the case is, how long do you have to wait to hold on to yours? So yeah, and just because it matches that, again, we've got lots of different types of resources. Doesn't necessarily mean if you claim a fire land that fire cards are going to be the best for your specific plot. So it doesn't necessarily work that way, but it seems like the odds might be skewed in that direction. At least that's my thought. So anyways, good to see an update. As always, make sure you guys come by my live streams. We're going to be streaming some more. There's a lot of we've got a lot of fun things that we're doing. So many cool things. We're playing a lot of Gala games. Streamed Alluvium yesterday. Had 80 people watching me stream Alluvium. That's the highest I've seen in quite a while. So Alluvium was pretty fun. Got our Marvel Snap, and of course, always streaming Splinterlands as well. So I will see you guys over there. I'll see you in the Discord. You can actually start earning acorns to enter Darth Squirrel giveaways by being active in my Discord now. So make sure you swing by. I will see you all there. Have a great day.